well met.
Hey everybody, I'm back at it again with, oh boy, been playing WoW for 2 days or so. I also actually facilitate a men's group, so I was doing that intermittently as well. And what I want to talk about today is dignity and respect, particularly self-respect.
Be careful.
What I realized is a lot of times when I grew up, and I noticed this with my peers as well,
Greetings.
as I grow up with my parents, my friends, my society, my school, community around me, if I'm not in a
We shall
place
meet
or
again.
where there's genuine empathy and unconditional love, and I am rejected or accepted for certain things that I show or express, I noticed that I started to alienate myself and actually never develop that sense of respect or dignity in that part of who I am. And I realized that my old habits of video games was a way for me to cope with certain unmet needs, with, in other words, the feeling of needing to belong or wanting to feel I can express myself wholeheartedly, that I can explore and assert myself. Because those qualities were not nurtured and respected, I alienated myself further in video games. And I remember when my dad was very unsavory with my video game playing as I got older, that only led me to alienating myself more, because it's not something I could share with him or I can open. So even someone telling me it's bad, because there was no sense of dignity and respect that I was given or that he gave me, I just felt I needed to alienate myself further. But now that I'm older, now that I'm here and I've arrived at a place where I can feel that sense of dignity and respect, now that I'm playing video games again, I had this little moment where my girlfriend saw me playing and I was nearly dying. This cougar was fucking attacking me. And I nearly died, and I was really intense, and I was just jamming my 2-button on heroic strike. And she sort of teased me. She's like, "What's going on?" And I just was so focused on the game, I just said nothing. I'm just doing my thing. And I was a little irritated a little bit, but I also ignored it. And I realized I felt a little bit ashamed or disrespected. Well, actually, no. Let me correct that. Is I believed I was disrespected or ashamed. I didn't actually feel that. What I felt was just anger or upsetness. And I realized that was okay. I realized I'm like, holy crap, I'm kind of setting my boundaries now. And that this internalized shame that I got from my upbringing when I was playing video games is a way to cope with my stresses and lack of belonging and lack of purpose. Now I have this sense of purpose and belonging. And now I'm reintegrating video games into that space. And I'm differentiating and dissolving this shame that I used to have with it. And I'm like, you know what? No, this is something I respect, that I value. And I'm putting purpose into this. And I guess I'm older in the sense that I have room to self-parent myself, to reparent. That I don't have to treat myself the way my parents did when I did the same habit. So now I can do the same thing but thrive. And I got up in the morning like 7 a.m. and I did a lot of exercises intuitively. Stuff I got from Ido Portal, Wim Hof, doing some movement, stretches, breathing. And because I respect what I'm doing, what I'm producing here on the YouTube channel, the video game I'm playing, I'm starting to treat my body well. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna play, I want to take care of myself. And this is very different than how I played video games before. because I didn't respect myself. I didn't feel I was dignified in doing this. So my body shut down, quite literally. And I realized how important it is to offer respect and dignity in anything a person's doing. In order, like if we're really interested in the well-being of the person and changing for the better. I have a friend who she was a previous hooker and prostitute. And the biggest change in her life was people at the recovery centers, the rehabilitation centers. They didn't try to get her stopped doing drugs. What they did is they said, "Hey, if you're going to continue this, have an orange, have a glass of water once a day. You need your vitamin C, you need your water, and if you need support, I'm always here to support you." They never made her feel bad for doing drugs. They never guilted her. They always gave her a sense of respect and dignity, and that allowed her to internalize that respect and dignity in herself, which actually led her a few years later to end up stop doing drugs. But this is so essential in our upbringing from the ages of 1 to, let's say, 18. That external environment, in order for us to have really healthy lifestyles, that also means treating us in a way that builds our nervous system in a way that actually makes me feel like whoever I am, I can respect and dignify all parts of that. It's only when, based on my culture or my family, start to alienate certain parts of myself. Like, for example, when you see on a bus and a train and you see this child making noise and the parent goes, "Shh." The child doesn't understand why it's doing that. All it does is internalizes a sense of shame for its own natural biological function to produce a voice, to express oneself. But this carries forward many years later, and the child becomes over-identified with being accepted, feeling happy, and being affectionate when they're quiet. But they always feel something's missing. They never feel they're truly themselves because there's a part of their voice that they don't express. But even when the parent's not there, is that even when they attempt it, they feel ashamed because they've internalized that punishment from the parent.
Well met.
And from what I'm learning too is I'm studying trauma therapy, is that a lot of this internalized shame can actually come from, or internalized guilt for that matter, can come from even the embryo, all the stresses and the experiences a child experiences in embryo. And that may constitute these character qualities, these inhibitions, many years later in life. I'm like, wow, you know. And so,
with the Earth Mother.
having that time, go to college, go to therapy. I go to college for sending me a counselor, and receive a lot of empathy, respect for who I am and what I experience, to give myself awareness and to be able to get in touch with my body again. I realize I can re-establish my relationship with video games.
Peace.
However, I have been feeling a bit groggy. Like, I stayed up late playing. I woke up feeling, kind of this drunkenness, playing video games too long. I wake up in the morning. I really wonder how long this project will last. And I wonder too that if this structure, the fact that I'm creating content with my game playing,
be careful.
Keeping documentation of my experience doing this, is this the essence of a healthy life? Is that it's not what I do, but it's how I structure around it. If I'm playing WoW, how do I structure my life around it, where I feel a sense of respect and dignity in what I do and who I am while I'm doing it? And I wonder if that's what we're searching for. but the difficulty is differentiating from the internalized shame and getting in touch with our bodily feelings and experiences in order to be in integrity. And when I say integrity, I mean like literally my spine is reconnected, my breath is allowed to free flow as I'm doing what I'm doing. Honestly, this is kind of a mystery to me, and this is something I really don't know what the answer is to this. I'm just really happy that to some degree I found myself. I found a piece of myself that I don't need to alienate anymore. Now I can really continue my life with a sense of joy. And even if this project ends like tomorrow, because I don't know how long this will go on. I just started and see where it will go. But this definitely gave me insight to how I'll continue with any project I do in my life moving forward. So I really thank this experience. I'm really grateful in this moment. And I'm grateful to whoever's listening, and I would love to hear your insight. I would love to open this up as a dialogue, so if there's any inspiration that comes to you, please share in the comments, and I'll read it as soon as I can. Thank you.